Well, hey everybody, this is Don from the Vlog of Many Things, and has some interesting news come out today. I want to talk a little bit about Hasbro, Chris Cox, and I guess Hasbro has officially announced that they are going to be embracing AI, but they're going to be embracing AI in a big way. And I kind of want to discuss a little bit about this. It literally just broke that Chris Cox, who is Hasbro's CEO, recently spoke to Goldman Sachs, or excuse me, at a Goldman Sachs event. And he was talking about AI's future role in Dungeons and Dragons. And he said he wanted to send a clear message. And what he did was he said, AI isn't just coming, it's already here, which we already kind of knew that. But he says that it's basically going to be a game changer. And he says, you know what? And I'm quoting you, he says, and you know what? AI is poised to revolutionize the tabletop RPG market, and I'm 100% on board with that, providing we use it intelligently. Now, you can put a whole bunch of different debates on this. There's an ethical debate, there's a safety debate as far as data being used in AI and such. And you don't need to be a D&D player to see it all over Facebook and all over social media. You have the very anti-AI camp, you have the very pro-AI camp, and then you have the camp that's kind of like in the middle, kind of a wait-and-see camp. Now, what he basically wants to do is he feels that AI, if used smartly, can streamline basically game management. And it can streamline things like storytelling. It can improve storytelling. It can streamline the use of D&D and such. Now, I think the big goal of all this with them is they want to use AI as a supplement for real human beings creating content for their online D&D gaming platform. I really think that's where the core of all this is. And plus, AI art and AI writing can, and I'm just throwing my opinion out there. This is not the official opinion of anybody except this channel's general thoughts, is possibly what they're looking at is going, hey, why pay an artist to write something or draw something? Why pay an artist to write something or draw something when we can go ahead and use AI to do it for us? And I think there's where the motivation truly is at. Now, I have a game development company, and yes, you're always looking to save money, but I think that as a game developer or as a game publisher, there has to be kind of a line drawn there. There has to be a I'm not going to go there kind of thing. And it kind of saddens me to see Hasbro not at that point. I understand they have investors and stockholders they have to answer to. I understand they're a for-profit company. Anybody who's in this business is a for-profit business. But I really think that the motivations are questionable to me because we all know there's a creativity boost with AI. And it can be really phenomenal based on what you're doing. But the problem still with AI to me, and again, there's many people that look at this channel and watch my videos and watch the Vlog of Many Things videos that are far more versed in AI than I am. And I encourage you to go ahead and drop opinions, comments, posts. And actually, there's one individual that I think I want to get on this show who's a regular watcher who seems to know a lot about AI. And I'll be reaching out to him pretty soon. But, you know, it's really easy to shout out AI as theft. And I've been told by many people when I've made comments like that, that I obviously don't understand what I'm talking about. And that I'm being ignorant or I'm wrong in my assumptions of calling AI theft. So I'll re-put it this way. AI, as I have come to understand it, if used by AI algorithms and AI makers that don't police their systems, I believe that is a form of theft. Now, is there a such thing as ethical AI? And for those of you who are wanting clarification, what my opinion of that, what is ethical AI to Don? Because it's different things to different people. To me, ethical AI is an AI generating system that utilizes algorithms that do not take from content that they're not authorized to take from. As an example, let's say there's an AI generator out there that utilizes public domain only imagery and or allows people to donate their stuff to their AI databases, generators, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm no expert in AI. I'm trying to talk in Don's terminology here. If those are the kinds of AI engines that are out there or that become available, then I'm not anti-AI. I personally would not be one to use it. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I'm an author of a long time. I've been writing books for 25 plus years. And to me, there's nothing more enjoyable. Well, there's very few things that are more enjoyable than just the art of creating, the task of creating, to be stuck on something and go, oh, I just can't get past this point, like with writing a novel. And then one day you sit down and it just opens up the floodgates and you've solved your internal problem of creation and you make something. Sitting down and going, write me a 300-page short story or a 300-word short story about a young boy who finds a sword with an orb on the back of it and finds out he's king. That to me is not really creating. What you're doing is, and I know people will say, well, no, you're wrong. We are creating something, but I don't believe so. And I think that's the problem with Hasbro. Hasbro is looking for a cheat. They're looking for something very quick and dirty that they can manipulate and utilize to make more money. And Chris Cocks said that AI had the power to transform industries. I believe so. AI is already doing very positive things to certain industries. But the point that Cox, I think, is trying to make is that AI isn't some fantasy concept. It's a tool. And it's a tool that they want to use. And I read an article on it where he mentioned calling it, they want to use AI to do all the heavy lifting. And that they want to use AI to do this heavy lifting and go ahead and allow dungeon masters and players to focus on what they feel really matters, and that's innovation and creativity. The problem is that's not what he's saying. That's what he's saying, but they're wanting to use AI to, in fact, innovate and create for the player and the dungeon master. They want the dungeon master to be able to say, to log into, and I know exactly what they're doing, and see if I'm right. They want DMs to be able to log into a panel on their D&D online platform and go and click boxes. Like, what do I want? I want a game that takes place in a dungeon. Click. That's for levels 3 to 5. Click. That's designed to be played in 1 to 3 game sessions. Click, and so on and so forth, and then hit create, and all of a sudden the online game vomits this module out to the DM that helps the DM. Now, I'm all in favor of that kind of thing if it's being created by a human being, not being created by AI, or if it's being created via databases. And I'll call it the old school way. Like, I can write a program that literally allows somebody on a website to say, I want an adventure for 1 to 3 players of 1 to 3 levels. And what I can do is I can attach various pieces and parts that say players 1 to 3 levels. Like, I can list a bunch, like it's already done in D&D. Monsters are good, are designed for players of this level, this many hit dice, so to speak. But the problem is when you get into AI, and this is my only question, this is what makes the big disagreeer with me, is where does AI go to get this information? And that's the big debate here, I think. And I think with Chris Cocks, I think he's really not thinking this through, because he also said that He believes AI and D&D is a key to unlocking creativity. And I think where he means that is that, sometimes if you have a prompt, it helps you kind of get the juices flowing and get the creative juices flowing. But I don't think that's how he means it, though. I think what he wants is as a friend of mine used the term, very vanilla. I think he wants to turn D&D very vanilla. I think he just wants to be a be all end all, one size fits all thing, and D&D, I believe, is far too complicated for that. You know, I don't believe AI is about replacing creativity. I really don't. Um, I think their use of AI, I think that AI should be used to amplify creativity, not replace it. And I think there's where another big difference is. I think Hasbro and Chris Cox, they want to replace creativity with AI instead of amplifying it. And there's two distinct things between the two. You know, you can either take a person's creativity and use a tool to help spark it and get it moving, or you can really dumb it down, like I think Chris Cox wants to do, and they want to replace the creativity aspect with AI. So, can AI be transformative in gaming? Yes, I think it can be, but I think there's a whole lot of back end question that needs to be answered, along with what AI engine are they using, where are they getting their models at, if you will, or their databases at, how are they pulling from it, and how do we ensure as users of that product that we're not violating other people's trademarks or copyrights or IP by utilizing it. Because let's face it, it's not like big companies have lied before about where they get certain things. And it's not like Hasbro has, lied before or not came through before with what they promised. OGL scandal, excuse me. So yeah, I think if you want to take AI and you want to use it in a very generic way to facilitate, as an example, the tedious part of prepping for campaigns or adventures, I think there's room for that. But I think you have to really be careful how you approach it, if you will. Um, I think AI is here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think AI, as much as you may not like it or as much as I may not like it, I think AI is here to stay. I think it's going to be a tool that's more and more utilized. So instead of everybody getting up and putting red stamps that I boycott AI and saying, I don't think, I'll never touch it. Actually, you probably are touching it. You're just not being informed you're touching it, already, sadly. And I think instead what we need to do as creators and publishers and writers and artists say, you know, I may not like it, but I know it's here. So instead of fighting something that you're not going to change, why not instead switch gears and say, what, instead what we're going to do is we're going to demand accountability, we're going to demand transparency and more. And we're going to set up a set of standards that we're going to put the fire to the feet of people like Hasbro and other creators out there who utilize it. And for these AI companies out there, no, you're not just going to go ahead and go rampant and just take people's work and utilize it and do, because we're not going to allow you. And I think the other thing is that consumers need to understand is you have more power than you believe you do. I hear from a lot of people all the time that go, and when I say things like this, they go, well, Don, it doesn't really matter because it's not like you can change anything anyways. Yeah, I think you have a lot of power to change. You by yourself online, this video by itself is going to do nothing. But if enough people watch this video and share this video, it has potential to do something. Just like you, if you go online and you start advocating for responsible use of AI, reporting of where the model's at. Where do you get your information that you're plugging into AI? Where does this information come from? If you begin to advocate for that by yourself, you're not going to do nothing. But if enough people get behind you, they share your posts, they go ahead and they say, hey, talk to Don or Steve or Sue or Billy Bob, and enough people talk to Don or Steve or Sue or Billy Bob or pay attention, then you can change things. So interesting thing with Chris Cox. Interesting to see how this is going to kind of flow out, and love to hear your opinions, your points, and everything else on this. So this is Don from the Vlog of Many Things. Happy Saturday, happy gaming. Pretty soon we're going to be announcing on here a bi-monthly game of RPGs we're going to be doing. So stay tuned. A lot of things coming right after TotalCon. Next week will be at TotalCon doing a couple of lives from there, all kinds of fun stuff. So happy gaming.